Hello, boys and girls, cats and dogs, men and women. Welcome to the mad world of the Philistine artist. Just a brief explanation of what I hope this will be. To begin with, I'm not the best artist, nor am I classically trained or anything like that. That's where the name, the Philistine artist, comes from. Not that I love art. It's not that I don't like it, but there's a smaller definition of the word that just means uneducated, I suppose, in the arts. And that's kind of what I consider myself. Funky eye. Anyways, so hoping just to draw for y'all. And while I draw, tell you some random knowledge that I know. Basically, just weird ramblings that no one really needs to know, but I think it's interesting. Hopefully, some of you will too. So, other than art, I really enjoy music. I've been drumming since the 5th grade. I like nature and hiking, being outdoors. So all that stuff is likely to come up in this. I don't even know what I'm going to be talking about. We'll just go. I do like to make my ears somewhat symmetrical for some reason. Anyways, today I thought I'd talk about drumming. Something, like I said, I feel like I know a pretty good amount about. Obviously, can always learn more about anything, and if I'm incorrect on anything or misquote something, yeah, please correct me. As we all learned in elementary school, knowledge is power, isn't it? So, look forward to hearing from you guys. Anyways, I wanted to share some. Wow, I say anyways a lot, don't I? Hope that doesn't get any of you frustrated. But it is what it is. I thought I'd share a few weird drumming moments with you. Things that I find funny or interesting. And hopefully you guys agree. To begin with, I was just the other day listening to the Black Sabbath record Past Lives. Really good album. It's them live. I always a lot of bands I actually almost prefer to hear live just because there's more energy. Tempos change. Drummers change their fills. Guitar players might use different effects. I don't know. I think it's exciting, different takes. Another interesting thing I've found is if I hear, I'm going to give him a more defined bump on his nose, but a happy bump in homage to Bob Ross. Look at that happy little bump. No, it's not true though, is it? No bump has really been happy. No one's ever happy to have a pimple, and the pimple's probably not happy to be on someone's ugly mug, but we tried. I didn't mean for it to be a pimple anyways, it's more of a wart. So this is a hobgoblin, if you couldn't tell. That's what I'm going for. Or maybe it's an orc, if we're in Tolkien's universe. Well, even in The Hobbit, he called them goblins and hobgoblins, so there's a little tidbit for you. A rambling on, like I said. Ramble On, Led Zeppelin song. References Lord of the Rings as well. funny and pointless how my brain works. But yeah, back to the main subject. I was saying, Past Lives, Black Sabbath, good live album. Sweet Leaf, obviously, an amazing song, historical song, cult following song. There's my neighbor. Hold on. Sorry. They already think I'm crazy, so last thing I need is them to hear me talking to myself. Well, y'all, but right now it's basically just me. Don't know why I said y'all. I'm not Southern at all. Please forgive that. Look at this little fella. What are we gonna name him? You guys can. I hate when people do that stuff though, but I'll do it, especially since it's the first video. You can leave a comment in the bottom saying what you want to name him, and other people like the names, and whatever one has the most likes or gains top priority. That's what we'll call him, and we'll come back to this and put his name on the drawing. But yeah, I do think that's such a cheesy concept. But you gotta build somehow so I can share the art with more of the world, you know? So it is what it is. Please share. Please comment. Please subscribe. I don't even know what subscribe is yet. I'm just new to the YouTubes. But I hear everyone say that. Subscribe to this. Anyways, Sweet Leaf. Great song. Can you see that? Probably from the other angle. I gave it a thumbs up. Whatever. I'm lame. Lame tricks. Sweet Leaf. Anyways, so it's the song of do 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 3 1 2. So there's 2 crashes on beats 1 and 2, and then a snare and hi-hat, kind of an open to close hi-hat on beat 3. It's the rhythm of the whole song. The beat's like that, except at around 418, I believe is the mark. Bill Ward, great drummer, one of my favorites, is Black Sabbath's drummer. Black Sabbath, by the way, all the greats. I should give them all a shout out. Don't know why they would need it though. A shout out from a aspiring artist with no following for one of the biggest bands in the world. So we're gonna switch to just the hold on. Sorry about that. I was out of storage. I even just deleted everything off this it's an old phone. Can't handle it, whatever. I should try to make this quick so I can get through this one without it stopping. Sweet Leaf, 418 mark. Bill Ward hits a crash. So there's 3 crashes in a row instead of the usual 2 and snare hit. I don't know if it was a mistake or intentional, or because he doesn't lose the tempo, doesn't trip him up or anything. But I actually really like it. It pumps me up. It's different. It's dynamic. You have the amps just groaning. You know what I mean? Groaning in the background, just dead tired, wishing Tony Iommi would let up on him. And then you have these 3 crazy, massive crashes in a row. I think it's great, but yeah, I've always noticed it. It's always stuck out to me. Go check it out. Sweet Leaf 418 on Black Sabbath, Past Lives. just it fills me with adrenaline, and you have Ozzy just more excited than any human has ever been. Just his voice cracks. It's hilarious. He's so excited, talking to the audience, yelling to them, getting them involved, just pure adrenaline, pure excitement. Probably some of that was personality, some cocaine. Oh well, who cares? It's pretty cool. And then Bill Ward does that bit, and I've just always loved it. Weird drumming moment. Great. So another one, a classic one. It's kind of hard to reach the top of the drawing without messing with the camera. The Kingsmen, Louie Louie, classic song, one of the biggest songs of early rock and roll, 50s, 60s. Every garage band ever covered it. Actually, I think even the Kingsmen version is a cover. I don't think they actually made it. Don't quote me either way on that. I'd have to look it up, but yeah. Sorry about that. I kept things drum. There's a box there. Whatever. Had it. Weird impulse. So there's a guitar solo in Louie Louie. It's fine. It's whatever. But the singer miscounts, and around 158. Yeah, 158. He awkwardly comes in early, and he figures it out. He stops singing. He drops out. He catches himself, but there would be this weird pause had not the drummer instantly jumped in, did a perfect fill, made it feel right. Works. Hero of the day, right? Drummers rock. And it's actually a good fill too. I've always dug that part, really, though. I forget what he says. He just says the singer just says one word, basically, and then cuts out again. And then there's a few notes, beats, and then the drummer jumps in on it. Awesome. Perfect fill, right timing, works. Another fun bit of drumming history, drumming knowledge that you don't need, but I'm going to tell you anyways, is the Beatles cover of Words of Love, a Buddy Holly song originally. I really like both versions, Buddy Holly's and the Beatles. Side note to this, look, can you see that? Smeared it. I'm too impatient. I always never wait for ink to dry. And then I go over something I've already done and smear it. Classic Philistine example. Anyways, glad I'm fitting the definition. Ringo, Words of Love. Well, let me go back. First of all, the Beatles loved Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Loved them. Where do you think the Beatles name came from? Beatles, insect, and the Crickets was the name of Buddy Holly's backing band. Right there. Inspiration. But Buddy Holly also has a song called Every Day. And his drummer, I think his name is Jerry Allison, I think. Man, I really should have did my homework before jumping into this. He on Every Day by Buddy Holly played his knees, his lap, with his hands. That's how he kept the tempo. Sounds like this. Just did eighth notes. I don't know if you can actually hear that or not, but that's how he played the rhythm. It's a really light song. One of my friends used to call it baby music because it reminded him of like You know, the jingles they put babies to sleep to. So, I know his name's Jerry. I'm just not 100% on his last name. He played his kneecaps, his lap, one could say. His organic, bodily, anatomical drum. Any part of your body can be a drum if you're smacking on it. And so when the Beatles covered, I couldn't resist, I'm sorry. When they covered Words of Love by Buddy Holly, Ringo not only played the drum kit, but he played a suitcase in homage to Jerry. Funny, great, smart, cool. I dig it. Doesn't matter if I dig it or not. Huge hit. Them lads made it, huh? But I think it's cool. I love random music trivia like that. Yeah, I'm liking this. Yep, so some of my... Ooh, I just threw the pen. That probably looked cool flying across the screen. Yes, I dig drawing, minimalism, music, art, culture, anything I'm liable to talk about. Hopefully, it's exciting. Another thing that I think is interesting is the Zephyr song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's my favorite chili song. Great song, very relaxing, kind of flows along, both of them, but not combined. Try to put two words together. That usually doesn't work very well for people, does it? Do you ever wonder? Anyways, yeah, the Zephyr song. At the very end is this part. He's Chad Smith, I think is their drummer. He's doing fills, and it's like a da-da, but not like, so it's two snares and a crash, you know? Cymbal hit. But not like, dang, the other one went out again. The rest of it will just be from this one. From this angle. Thanks. Oh, that probably made y'all sick when I move like that. Oh well. Anyways. So yeah. Chad Smith does the but not in a comical fashion at all. And it sounds just like a China cymbal. I always thought it was. Swore it was. 100% I was convinced. I even told people, it's a China cymbal. I'm just cleaning some ink off so I don't have a big spout when I do this. Or no, I just said that wrong. I just gave away the whole mystery. Embarrassing. Yeah, so I always thought it was a gong. It sounds just like a gong. It's not. It's a China cymbal. Ruined that. Sorry. Oh well. Hopefully someone else thought it was a gong and was confused when I said it was a China. There you go. Learning. Knowledge is power. I'm still thinking about Black Sabbath though. I think Bill Ward deserves a ton of credit. I used to say, in fact, I used to say Black Sabbath is Bill Ward because I really dug him, but you know, the broad majority of people wouldn't say that. Tony Iommi, obviously, Ozzy Osbourne, they're known as for creating the Sabbath sound, but Geezer Butler, incredible bass player too. But yeah, I really dig Billboard. For one, he sounds like there's parts where it sounds like where you can identify straight up their blast beats. And that's obviously the major style used in metal drumming today, in modern times, modern day, as if the 60s was so far long ago. 70s, I guess Sabbath probably started in 69, so it's more accurate to say 70s. Man, I gotta stop saying facts. Now I feel like someone's gonna say, oh, it was 68, Probably was, who knows. What were they called? Earth? I think Sabbath was called Earth before they were called Sabbath. Anyways, yeah, you watch them play live, like at Paris, and some of Billboard's fills, man, they're just straight up like 16th note blast beats, on the on the snare and crash, or snare and hi-hat. And I think obviously a lot of jazz drummers did really fast stuff like that too, like single hand rolls. And I'm not saying he's the fastest person to ever to play like that, but I just feel like he had an influence on metal drumming for sure. You can't deny that. But I do also, on that note, like how you can kind of trace, you can kind of map out musical history. Like I said, there's Sabbath and Zeppelin, definitely, obviously, influenced metal sound, created the genre, helped create. There's so many different facets of it. Obviously, different little bands contributed to different parts of it. But yeah, so you have Sabbath and you have Zepp. And then earlier, you have the Who, Raw Energy. They get quoted as, proto-punk, MC5, Stooges. The Who and the Kinks were before that, but that Britpop, British Invasion, first wave of Britpop, not first wave as in 80s first wave. But yeah, you not even there, you can't even stop there. Then you have, I don't really dig Elvis, I don't think, he's obviously, lots of people quote him, but I think there's more an attitude and image that he contributed to music more than the music. Just a personal opinion, don't get mad. For actual sound, and I'm mostly talking attitude of rock and roll, metal, motorcycles. Johnny Marr says he's more of a moped guy, and I tend to agree with that sentiment, but when I think metal, I think, motorcycles and that stuff. And that would be more, I think, Eddie Cochran, I think Link Wray for 50s music. But you can't stop there either. You could say the roots of metal go back to the blues, those blues guys, man, especially lyrically, they lived hard lives, brutal lives. That's real metal right there. Walk in their shoes. So, you have Muddy Waters, John Lee Hooker, Robert Johnson, Leadbelly, just to name a few. That's all that you can trace, attitudes, styles, and you can do it with all rock and roll, all sounds. You can kind of map out, and I love that about music history. Drumming styles too, which on drumming styles, I should wrap this video up, especially since I ran out of storage twice now, but I think this is cool. Well, I'm just rambling. So in drumming, you have different ways to play. So these are the quarter notes. This is one measure. You know, here's the start, here's the end. You have beat 1, 2, 3, 4. These would be your quarter notes. In standard rock, your snare is going to be on 2 and 4. You have drummers like Neil Peart of Rush who play exactly on top of the beat, like a metronome, perfectly lined up. Just amazing. I dig it, but it's obviously mind blowing. But it's sometimes feels stale to me too. Neil even plays every fill the same. You know what I mean? I've seen him twice. I've listened to, all the albums, love them, but that's one method. Then you got John Bonham, who did, it's called Playing the Pocket, kinda, but I mean, that also means in jazz being exactly on, but yeah, so it's behind the beat, you're the backbeat, the steady pulse, but Bonham would play just a little behind the beat. Think classic example when the levee breaks. So it just feels like he's right here. Still plays to a metronome, perfectly lines up, but it's just a feel thing. Just, if you can see, just a little behind it. Then you have some energetic drummers. I'm thinking maybe Topper of the Clash or Stuart Copeland of the Police, who's both of them play reggae stuff too, so it's a bit weird, but they push the beat, that punk rock, pushing it forward, the drummer's propelling it. You could say they play above the beat, so it's like here. All these are on time. They're all work to a metronome, you know what I mean? It's just a very small feel mindset. Just a bit of drumming knowledge for you. Don't even know I don't even know how all this conversation's. I'm going to turn this just because it's hard for me to get this last bit without smudging it again. Like I said, I would just be rambling. There's the weird thoughts. Hopefully you're learning something. Hopefully you care that you just learned something. Hopefully it was interesting to you. I'm not going to get too crazy with this and really try to fill it in. And like I said, I'm already running out of time. One other thing that I think is interesting is there's a style of hat. It's called a bucket hat. Well, in America at least. It just kind of looks like a little ceramic, little piece of pottery you might make. And that you just placed upside down on your head. I have awful writing, don't I? It's cool. Wish I was a doctor. I wish the prereq for being a doctor, not the prereq, I wish the qualification was having bad handwriting. But no, I don't, because we'd all be dead if that was the only thing you had to accomplish. But yeah, bucket hats. Just trying to add a little, not even shading, just a little emphasis on the left side of the writing just to make it pop a little. But in England, bucket hats are called Remy hats. For one of the bands I love, the drummer of the Stone Roses is named Remy, and he always wore one, so in Brit fashion, that's called a Remy hat. Think of all the pointless facts and insights you are gaining from watching this. all while watching a Philistine artist draw a goblin. Yeah, yeah, what a weird night you're having if that's what you're doing in a YouTube black hole, listening to me. But yeah, do you ever wonder why? You wonder why. That's all I got for you. Philistine artist. Thanks for watching.